Oh, this is Greg Allison with Green Greg, standing on top of my dam here. I was a lot worried about Hurricane Priscilla, the monsoon storms that came out of that, and there was another tropical storm came through here, all just back to back. And I was really concerned that this dam that I'm standing on would get washed out. Fortunately, as you can see, it's still here. So this is a Homestead update. You can see that it actually does have a little bit of a leak coming out of it down in here, and there's a little stream washing out of here, just a slight stream. So in fact, the water level here has dropped. You can see there's a line. Let's see where my finger looks like it's on the screen. There's a line where the water was, and you can see it's dropped better than a foot, maybe 18 inches. And that's a lot of water, really, considering the width of this thing, since it is got filled up. Now what it is that I had this thing built. I had a good spillway built over here, but the dam, the middle of the dam where I was standing right there, has settled. And it's settled to the point that it's actually lower than my spillway. Everybody said, Greg, get shovels, do this, do that. Guys, you know, I have a day job, and sometimes I just don't have time to do things. I could dig this out a little bit more right here, but this is the spillway, and it's directed. So you got to burn my earth to keep it from coming back and washing out the dam. So this should spill around and go down in that wash when it overflows. That's the theory. But we got to do a little bit more work on it, because right there in the middle, it's a little bit too low, right there in the middle. So we got to fix that. You can see the ring around the tub, right? Anyway, you can see how this thing's been filled. Well, you still got a lot of water in there. That's a lot of water. And I don't expect it to hold, indefinitely. This water will probably always wash through, evaporate, soak in the ground. But it's done better than it was. The guy that built the pond had built some of his own. And he tells me that out here, that if you got a wash like this and the stuff washes in, he says the silt, because there's clay in this soil, he said it will eventually stop it up where it'll quit draining. He said it took about 3 years for his to hold water. After that, he says they all hold water. So, but this one's doing pretty good, actually, still. I got 3 little ponds back behind my garden area, where I'll put my green. I think you can see this was wet right up to here. So this is what you got to know. This was wet right here, and you can see it going around. This all evaporated out or drained out, and so the area here was a lot bigger as you get up higher, and that's what saved the dam, probably just the fact that it had all this flatter air. Ooh, this is really muddy down there. The ground's real soft down in here, because the water was up here. The water was right in here. I stepped down there, it's real soft. So it'll harden over time. You can see that ring around the tub. Didn't quite get to the top, thankfully. But this is lower than that. So I'm gonna get a machine in here to build that up a little bit. Maybe dig some of this dirt out and build that up over there. That'll help. So that I gotta worry about it washing out kitty cat. Expects me to pet him. That's Smokey the cat. I don't know where my black cat is right now. He was out here with me this morning. For those that didn't know, I got some worms in. I did a video on that. I got some more that have arrived today. I got to go pick them up. So we're in the worm business again. And just in case you didn't know, everybody's also talking about pond liners and bentonite clay. Bentonite clay would be my choice if I needed to use something else to seal my ponds. I do have pond liners. That black thing on top of that white van there is a pond liner. That lined my aquaponics greenhouse pond for, about 7 years, almost 7 years. Well, really 6 years in operation. 7 years ago I had it installed. That thing, back then it cost me $3 grand. I had no idea what it cost today. Those things are expensive. Lining all my ponds with that would set me back way too much money. And I may use that, and the reason I hadn't used it somewhere else is I'm thinking to use it for my little greenhouse I'm going to build over here to redo another aquaponics pond. I think that would be ideal for that. That's why I've saved that pond liner that's up here. My bus is still full of things I used to move out here. It is crammed full of stuff. Y'all may remember this van. It was Vanna White, and that is Candy over there. That's one I've lived in mostly. But I bought Vanna White with the intention of living in her. Just found a little bitty piece of petrified wood. We get some of that here. There's a lava bomb. I am close. The petrified forest is just over that way, not very far at all. Petrified forest is really close to here. So, just as a homestead update, in case you didn't know, I got a 9 kW solar panel array here that I designed. The batteries are in that room over there. I got my water collection going here, my rainwater. Thanks to the monsoon and such, I have collected. Yeah, it still looks like Sanford and Sons here, because I still didn't get everything placed. This is a place that's still under construction, basically. Like, I'm gonna build a front porch here. I'm gonna build a greenhouse back here. I'll make the house. But I got the water collection set up, and that tank's got about 600 gallons in it. 600 gallons. And I'm gonna use these tables here. I get an area if I ever do microgreens. That tank I have water hauled to, that green tank there. I get water hauled to it. There it is. And I got some water I run backup reserve in these little tanks here. That's how I wash my house. That's my rocket motor laying down over there. I need to take it in the house. That's my old Hart Catch Prize rocket. So yeah, I am a rocket scientist. If y'all didn't know, there's my black cat. There he is. And there's Jealous. Anyway, so that's what we're doing out here. See, I got a pump on that thing. I always run that pump, like when I'm watering my chickens. If I want a good spray of water, like I'm doing in my garden, I run the pump. Now, we're running behind on frost here. I think this time of the year I was here, it was snowing. I remember right up around Shello and Pine Top, there's some good thick snows. You can see my garden is actually got a lot of stuff in it. I know it's frosted, and stuff started coming up all at once. About 5 months after I planted it, 4 or 5 months after I planted it, when the growing season's over, things started sprouting crazy. Look at my chickens. I got chickens now. We'll go into the chicken coop in a minute. Although they might be disappointed if I go in there and feed them something. Now, some of these are still trying to bloom. There's a worthless compost pile. Stuff's got too much graze on it, and I couldn't even sprout radishes in it. Wanted watermelon so bad. But all these watermelon seeds, they wouldn't sprout until it's too late in the season. I'm gonna put these in that one and that one. And I got one that come up over here. I don't know why it come over here because I planted them all over there. But so I got 3 watermelon plants. I'm gonna put them in pots and put them in the house. I'm using those pots to cover these things on the colder nights. There's my Kentucky Wonder pole beans. They finally decided to come up, some of them. Now, there were things that did come up in here earlier, and the birds got them. So I guess the late arrivals surviving the birds, because birds ain't picking on them here this fall. In the spring, June, July, it's hard to get anything to sprout here without the birds getting in. Now, some of the stuff's got a little bit of a mildew in it. Some of the squash plants, pumpkin plants, but I don't, I'd usually use worm tea to treat that. I could go get copper, but it's only going to be a couple weeks before freeze kills everything out here. So I got some pumpkins down in here. And you can see I got some little squash and corn plants coming up, of all things. Look at this, guys. All these squash plants that's coming up now. Now, these beds did have a lot of squash plants come up in them earlier, but the birds got them. They're not getting them now, maybe because I got ponds out here for them to go to for water. Rabbits ate some of my earlier corn down. But I got everything fenced in now. No rabbits get in here anymore. No rats can get in here, hardly. And there's no rats around here anymore anyway. I've seen a rat track out here This used to be where I'd park my car a lot of times. I was actually living in my white van Cherry right here, sitting right here most of the time. And I get out in the morning, if you clear the ground off, like even a square foot, it'd be covered with rat tracks the next morning. I've not seen a single rat track out here anywhere in the vicinity of my house. Actually, out here anywhere. Since I got my cats out here. Those cats have totally extincted rats in this region. There is no rats. No ground squirrels either. There used to be a lot of ground squirrels. No ground squirrels, no rats. Even little Smokey, when he was little, he got him a big old ground squirrel and was eating on it. There he is, Smokey. Like I said, this place is still a construction zone. So I'll take you around to the chickens. And I do have worms now. Like I said, I'm going to go get some more. You should see my video posted on that. Now this little pond here is dried up just about it. That didn't have much water in it. There's one below it down there too. I may really have to put the bentonite to these up here. But I'm not going to use pond liners, I don't think. That stuff is so expensive. You can see my rooster. His name is Adam. Like the first man, first rooster. Here's some of my chickens. A lot of Dominicker hens. There's a leghorn. Those brown ones are Easter eggers. They're all coming out because I think I'm going to feed them. I feed them usually in the mornings. Yeah, I used to bring, so they got their feed in that feeder, but I usually bring them some veggies in the mornings and evenings. See, I got a water thing right there. Makes it real handy. All I gotta do is open the spigot, boom, they got water. Hey baby, what you doing picking out there? Hello. Prickly pear cactus. So, I just did my video where I showed that I had, I still gotta cover up some of this pipe before it gets to be freezing hard around here. And down there is my worm beds. So, just in case you didn't know, I got worms. Did it in my, got a video on, I posted on that. There you are. There's another homestead way out over there on the other side of the wash. That's the closest to me where anybody's living. And that's a good fraction of a mile away. But in any event, guys, and that house wasn't there when I started this place. Got my worm beds. So we got, what do we got? We got a garden. We got ponds. We got chickens. We got worms. I got solar. I got water collection. I'm totally living off grid. And living well. I enjoy it. I got no complaints about it. I'm homesteading. My homestead's taking shape. You know, when you got chickens and garden and rainwater collection and ponds and everything, that's a homestead. Worms, it's a homestead. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So, let me know what y'all think about this. Some people get out and try the homesteading life and then they cry and complain. Well, it's not city life. You got work to do. It's not city life. But I love it. I mean, I really love it out here. Got a gate over here. I'm going to redo these beds where they retain water better. Got to do that because I'm spending. So, with that said, yeah, we got the kitty cat day. Really happy right there, rolling in the sun. So, what I want you to do is I want you to listen. Just listen. All the city traffic. No, it's silent out here. Nobody's out here. Just me, my kitty cats, and my chickens. That's it. I'll get some dogs later. And my worms. So, to see my video, oh, there's Smokey. To see my video on the worms. I got worms. Look right up here. Or here, one of the two. Put a banner up. Check that out. And with that, I'm going to say thank you for watching. Greg out.